Alright, hey guys. I'm making this new sub-series called ASIM Ranks, where I rank every single killer and survivor for every asymmetrical game that I play. Today, this will be part 1, and this will be Forsaken's Killers. I have made an entire script for this, which I usually don't do for my videos. The only other time I've ever made a script was with Bite by Night issues. That was it. So this is rare for you guys, an actual script. Let's hop right into the video. So I will be ranking them from worst to best. And at last, I am disappointed over how I have to mention this because he's my favorite killer to play as, Noli. He just is really easy to loot. He's basically as fast as a survivor. He has one of the most obvious windups in the game, the worst anti-loop ability in the game, and is basically unplayable in comp lobbies, or competitive lobbies. I'll just say comp for short so you guys don't have to deal with it. But I'll be talking about how to change them after I rank these, so just stay in tune. Alright? Oh my god. For 6th place, I have Nosferatu. He isn't really, well, he's really bad where he's at now, but he isn't Noli bad. He has a random kit. Hold on, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, worst ability kit in the game, so it's just completely random because he has one for zoning off survivors, one for trapping, one for rush down, and one for stealth, which makes it almost impossible to tell what his playstyle is meant to be. Platform is incredibly obvious to spot on bright maps, so stuff like glass houses and I forget the map name, it's the one with that tree in the middle. It's so easy to spot him in the air. Especially with some of his skins, it becomes incredibly obvious. Snowy Owl. It makes it, he's pretty obvious when he's about to dive, because there's a loud ass sound cue. And sure, there isn't that giant bright light that's in the sky whenever he says, "Oh, I'm about to dive on you, you better dodge out the way." No, it's just really, really obvious over how loud it is. So if you already see him above you and you hear that sound cue, you just know that you're gonna have to dodge. He has great ability uses and good movement speed. That's it. At number 5, a killer that I feel like has good potential to be one of the strongest, John Doe. He has terrible movement speed, obvious puddles, which means you are basically only ever going to run into them if you aren't paying any attention. Crypto energy can be used against you to have survivors get away. Nerfed his one good passive and almost making it useless by making it 3 seconds long rather than 2.5, which would then allow survivors to get away, which, what's the purpose in even using it? As if it wasn't already nerfed already. But if played right, destroys lobbies without any difficulty. Both comp and normal. Number 4, a sad one because I main him all the time, Slasher. He's easy to loop. Raging Pace has too much end lag, so you stand still for way too long, which allows most people to land a stun on you, which then gives them more time to get away. He has an incredibly obvious windup for Behead. Now, I'm not saying that, they shouldn't remove Behead. I'll talk about the problems with him later. But that's it. That's it for Slasher. That's it for Behead. Gashing Goon can basically be ignored for most of the time and is only really useful when punishing. But he has great movement speed and good potential for a starter character. It allows players to easily understand how to use him and great at punishing dumb players. Specifically with the Gashing Rune. 3rd place, one that I personally don't like using, but after the recent balance changes, he's become incredibly good. 1x. Good movement speed and abilities. It's too small of a cooldown, and I feel like you just spam them all the time. Minions are chaotic in LMS for both Survivor and 1x. Might need a slight increase of cooldown, and that's it. Yeah, literally that's it. Minions can be chaotic. Abilities are way too small. Allows 1x to just throw a million mass infections within a minute. Yeah, it's just way too much. But for second place, one of my favorite killers to use, even though he's not who I main, I just play him for fun, Sixer. A great snowballer character, but could be the easiest to loop if you are new to how Sixer works. He can be a little unfair for survivors whenever he lands any of his abilities with how they're in major disadvantages. Example, Hemorrhage, now you can't heal. He closes the distance a lot faster. Excavate allows him to basically get damage for missing since he lunges again. All he really needs to say is that he needs some more wind up with some of his abilities. Infernal Cry. And just slightly longer cooldowns. That's it. Number 1, Cool Kid. I feel like he's very good at... He's not really that easy to understand, especially with one of his abilities, which I'll talk about. But there's some of the best potential in the game for being a good server stomper. You need really good tracking on players' movements. He was the first character with a dash ability in the game, so that's a little special for him. And one of the most punishing abilities for both Survivor and Cool Kid with Walk Speed Override. Possible balance changes. Now, I want to mention throughout this entire video, one thing that I may have not pointed out, this is a biased take on actual gameplay. This stuff is biased. I've played this game a lot, and I feel like these are stuff that could be changed to make killers slightly better and more balanced. I'm taking this on a Survivor term because some of these abilities are very strong for both survivors and killers, which is surprising because they're killer abilities. But for balance changes for Noli, these are just one of 3 ways. You can mix and match, or you can just do separate ones. Either buff his turn speed for Void Rush, which makes it so he can turn around loops quicker. Increase the size of his explosion, or slightly buff his movement speed a little more. I feel like he's incredibly slow, and I know it's 5-star difficulty, but for Christ's sake, I feel like there's John Doe. You don't really need to make 2 killers insanely high with difficulty. So I feel like that'd just be fair. Nosferatu, this one is just like, I gave up on trying to explain this, so I just put this in my own terms. Just rework his abilities, so it fits one playstyle, and not just being the most confusing playstyle on Earth. That's it. Literally, Nosferatu is a good killer. He has good stats. I feel like he's fair balanced, easy to understand, and that's it. That's literally all it is. Just, he has terrible ability sets. For John Doe, not really anything's needed. Maybe a slight increase for Corrupt Energy and revert his Unstoppable passive. I feel like with Unstoppable, having 3 seconds to stun allows survivors to get away. So by the time you have your speed, they will most likely be gone. Plus, it's already skill needing enough to know how to use him. Why would they bother nerfing him so you need even more skill upon the already a lot of skill that you need? For 1x, you don't really need to do any, or, sorry, I skipped Slasher. I didn't notice him among my giant list of, stuff. With Slasher, they're already working on buffing him. I don't need to worry about answering that question. They're planning on buffing him. Why should I try to give my own buffs? Because the ones I already described seem fair enough already. 1x. Just increases cooldowns for all of his abilities slightly. You know, by a few seconds, just so they're less spammable. Okay, maybe not Unstable Eye, but definitely Mass Perfection and Entangled. 6er. Increases cooldown duration. Or cooldown. Increase cooldown abilities slightly. Put duration on X. But buff the duration of Blood Hunt. So instead of 20, it could be like 25, 28. So you actually have more likeliness of getting use out of it. Cool Kid, he doesn't need any changes. He's good. Now, I want to point out something funny here. I never really mentioned hitboxes. And that's mostly because every killer has a fair hitbox. But not every killer has fair hitboxes with latency. That Noli round prior was such an example of horrible latency. And can either make or break a round as killer. I will be talking about other stuff, such as example being I could definitely see good rework. I could definitely see a good way to fix latency by just making it so not only that you're more likely to find servers that are close to your region, but also make it so far region servers are just unworkable. But other than that, that's it. I will end the video off here. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.